Imagine standing in the center of the Maracanã Stadium in Rio de Janeiro, the air thick with humidity, and the deafening roar of nearly 75,000 screaming fans. It is the 113th minute of the 2014 FIFA World Cup final. Your legs are heavy with fatigue, your lungs are burning, and the weight of an entire nation rests squarely on your shoulders. You receive a pass from a teammate, turn, and strike the ball with the outside of your left foot, sending it past the world's best goalkeeper into the net. In that split second, you do not just win a football match, you etch your name into the annals of history, becoming the man who gave Germany its fourth World Cup title. This is the defining moment of Mario Götze's life, a peak so high that it cast a long, complex shadow over the rest of his career. But to view him solely through the lens of that single goal is to miss the intricate, often painful, and ultimately triumphant story of a prodigy who was hailed as the savior of German football, only to battle invisible demons, physical ailments, and immense pressure to find his own path to redemption. The journey of this technical wizard began in the picturesque town of Memmingen in Bavaria, where he was born on June 3, 1992. From a very young age, Mario displayed an extraordinary affinity for the ball. His father, Jürgen Götze, was a university professor of philosophy, and his mother was a teacher, creating a household that valued intellect, discipline, and critical thinking as much as athletic prowess. This academic background would later play a crucial role in how Mario approached the game, treating football not just as a physical contest, but as a cerebral puzzle to be solved. He joined the youth academy of Borussia Dortmund at the age of 8, quickly rising through the ranks due to his exceptional vision, close control, and ability to operate in tight spaces. While other children relied on speed or strength, Mario relied on intelligence, anticipating movements before they happened and finding passing lanes that seemed non-existent to others. His ascent through the Dortmund youth system was meteoric. Coaches recognized that he possessed a rare gift, a combination of technical finesse and tactical awareness that reminded them of the club's legendary former players. By the time he was 16, he was already training with the first team, absorbing the tactics and intensity of professional football under the guidance of Jürgen Klopp, a manager who valued high pressing, quick transitions, and emotional intensity. When Mario made his Bundesliga debut in November 2009, he became the youngest player in the league's history at that time, a record that highlighted the immense expectations placed upon his slender shoulders. He did not shrink under the spotlight. Instead, he thrived, weaving through defenses with a grace that belied his age and establishing himself as a key component of Dortmund's revitalized identity. The early years of his professional career were defined by pure joy and explosive success. Under Klopp's tutelage, Borussia Dortmund transformed from a mid-table team into a European powerhouse, playing a brand of football that was exhilarating to watch. Mario was the creative heartbeat of this machine, operating as a false nine or an attacking midfielder, linking play between the midfield and the attack with seamless efficiency. He helped Dortmund win back-to-back Bundesliga titles in 2011 and 2012, culminating in a stunning victory over Bayern Munich in the latter season. His performances attracted attention from across the continent, with scouts from Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Manchester United monitoring his every move. Yet, it was the domestic rival, Bayern Munich, that made the most aggressive push, seeing in Mario the perfect piece to complete their puzzle of dominance. In April 2013, just days before Dortmund faced Real Madrid in the Champions League semifinals, the news broke that Mario had signed a pre-contract with Bayern Munich. The announcement sent shockwaves through the football world and devastated the Dortmund fan base, who felt betrayed by their homegrown hero. The decision was framed as a necessary step for his career development, a chance to compete for the highest honors in Europe alongside the world's best players. However, the timing and the manner of the departure created a narrative of disloyalty that would haunt him for years. He left Dortmund not with a farewell tour, but with a cloud of controversy, carrying the burden of being the traitor who abandoned his family for gold. Arriving in Munich in the summer of 2013, Mario entered one of the most successful teams in football history. Under the management of Pep Guardiola, a coach obsessed with positional play and tactical perfection, Mario was expected to adapt to a new, more rigid system. Guardiola saw potential in Mario's versatility, using him in various roles across the front line. Initially, the transition seemed smooth. Mario contributed to Bayern's domestic dominance, helping them secure another Bundesliga title and reaching the Champions League final. However, beneath the surface of this external success, cracks were beginning to form. The intense scrutiny, the pressure to perform at an elite level every 3 days, and the lingering resentment from his former fans began to take a toll on his mental and physical well-being. The pinnacle of his career arrived in Brazil in 2014. Selected for the German national team by Joachim Löw, Mario was part of a squad that blended experienced veterans with young, dynamic talent. Throughout the tournament, he played a crucial role, providing creativity and goals in the group stages and knockout rounds. But it was in the final against Argentina that he delivered the moment that would define his legacy. Substituted into the match in the 88th minute, he received a cross from Anders Schürrle, controlled it with his chest, and volleyed it home with his left foot. The stadium erupted, and in Berlin, millions of Germans celebrated wildly. Mario had done what no other German player had done in 24 years. He had won the World Cup. He was instantly hailed as a national hero, the golden boy who had fulfilled the promise of a generation. Yet, paradoxically, this triumph marked the beginning of a steep and painful decline. In the months following the World Cup, Mario's performance levels dropped significantly. He struggled to find his rhythm at Bayern, often appearing sluggish and disconnected from the game. Critics began to question his commitment, labeling him as lazy or unmotivated. The media narrative shifted from adoration to skepticism, with pundits analyzing his every touch and movement for signs of apathy. What the public did not know, and what Mario himself struggled to understand, was that he was battling a severe and debilitating medical condition. He was suffering from a myopathy, a muscle disorder that affected his energy levels and recovery times. Every sprint felt like wading through mud, and every training session left him exhausted. For 2 years, Mario lived in silence, hiding his pain behind a mask of professionalism. He continued to play, driven by pride and a fear of being seen as weak, but his body was failing him. The magic that had once flowed effortlessly from his feet was gone, replaced by frustration and fatigue. He was substituted frequently, criticized by fans, and eventually dropped from the starting lineup. The golden boy had become a ghost, haunting the benches of the Allianz Arena. In 2016, unable to bear the physical and emotional strain any longer, he made the difficult decision to return to Borussia Dortmund. It was a homecoming, but not a triumphant one. He returned as a diminished figure, seeking redemption and a chance to heal in the environment where he had once flourished. The return to Dortmund was fraught with challenges. The fans were divided, some welcoming him back with open arms, others still harboring resentment. On the pitch, he struggled to regain his former brilliance, hampered by the lingering effects of his illness and the loss of confidence. He was no longer the untouchable prodigy, he was a player fighting for his career. During this period, he sought help from specialists, undergoing extensive testing and treatment to diagnose and manage his condition. It was a humbling experience, forcing him to confront his vulnerability and redefine his relationship with football. He learned to listen to his body, to prioritize health over hype, and to find joy in the game again, rather than just seeking validation through performance. Slowly, painstakingly, Mario began to recover. With proper medical support and a adjusted training regimen, his energy levels improved, and his sharpness returned. He started to contribute more consistently, providing assists and scoring crucial goals. He became a leader in the dressing room, using his experience to mentor younger players, an advocate for mental and physical health awareness. His resilience in the face of adversity earned him a new kind of respect, not just as a talented player, but as a human being who had survived a crisis that could have ended his career prematurely. He proved that greatness is not just about winning trophies, but about enduring hardship and emerging stronger. In 2020, Mario made another significant move, transferring to PSV Eindhoven in the Netherlands. This decision was seen as a fresh start, a chance to play in a league that valued technical skill and creativity, away from the intense pressure of the German Bundesliga. At PSV, he found a renewed sense of freedom and enjoyment. Freed from the weight of expectation, he played with a lightness that had been missing for years. He became a key player for the team, contributing goals and assists, and helping them compete for the Eredivisie title. The Dutch fans embraced him, appreciating his class and his humility. For the first time in a long time, Mario was playing football for the sake of football, rediscovering the passion that had driven him as a child in Memmingen. His international career also saw a brief resurgence. Although he was not selected for the 2018 World Cup, he remained hopeful of a recall. He continued to perform well at the club level, demonstrating that he still had much to offer at the highest level. His journey had come full circle, from the prodigy who carried the hopes of a nation to the veteran who had learned to manage his own limitations. He had survived the highest highs and the lowest lows, emerging with a deeper understanding of himself and his craft. Off the pitch, Mario has become an advocate for health and wellness, speaking openly about his struggles with myopathy and the importance of listening to one's body. He has used his platform to raise awareness about rare diseases and the mental health challenges faced by professional athletes. He is known for his intellectual curiosity, often engaging in discussions about philosophy, politics, and social issues, reflecting the influence of his father's academic background. He is a thoughtful, introspective individual who values privacy and authenticity, preferring to let his actions speak louder than his words. Today, Mario Götze stands as a complex and compelling figure in modern football. He is not just the man who scored the World Cup-winning goal. He is a survivor, a thinker, and a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. His story is a reminder that talent alone is not enough to sustain a career, and that true strength lies in the ability to adapt, overcome, and find meaning beyond the scoreboard. He has redefined success on his own terms, finding peace in the process rather than just the outcome. As he continues to play, he does so with a wisdom and grace that inspires those who follow in his footsteps. The legacy of Mario Götze is still being written, but it is already clear that it is far richer and more nuanced than a single moment in Rio. It is a story of brilliance and breakdown, of betrayal and forgiveness, of pain and healing. It is a story that resonates with anyone who has ever faced a seemingly insurmountable challenge and found the courage to keep going. Mario Götze did not just score a goal, he survived a storm, and in doing so, he taught us all that even the brightest stars can flicker, but with patience and care, they can shine again.